Hello friends, and welcome to another modern stream. Today we're returning to Azorius Spirits, a deck that I've played a few times with some success, utilizing a bunch of these flying creatures. Our intention is to pressure our opponent, meanwhile being able to potentially answer some of what the opponent is doing with our aggressive creatures. The sideboard has the most going on here. I mean, the most changes. In that we're actually running 4 Chalice. I think this is a nod towards Boros decks. And then with us having 3 Cavern of Souls, we can potentially still cast our spells through the Chalice of the Void. We're also running Deicide as a way to deal with Heliod combo. And then Damping Sphere could be another way that we could deal with Prowess. It's also good versus Tron. Damping Sphere is pretty good against a lot of decks. So we've got 3 lands. We're on the draw. We don't have any 1-drops, which sucks. It's pretty slow, but I'm going to try it anyway, see what happens. And okay, we're playing against some kind of Rakdos deck. They don't have a Luris. Well, could be classic Jund, could be a lot of different things. And there are also quite a few Rakdos lists floating around using Blood Moon. Speaking of which, maybe it'd be a good time to just go grab an island. Right on time, Spectral Sailor. We'll just play Cavern of Souls here, named Spirit and pass. And we can put a Rattlechains down when they end their turn. Robin Hood, thanks for keeping me hydrated. The Collective Brutality, 2 modes. So basically they wanted to throw the Grishoalbrand into the graveyard here. We don't have anything for them to hit, so they can just take a look at our hand. We're more scared of what they're potentially going to be doing with that Grishoalbrand. Don't worry, can't hurt you anymore. Ugh, unfortunate. So we're not going to get any kind of way to interact with the opponent, with what the opponent is about to do. So it looks like they're probably just going to throw a Grishoalbrand into play this turn coming. Oh well. I'm just trying to think about, like, what are my best options here. I think I probably just attack with Rattlechains and hold up mana. They're not going to know if we have, like, a Spell Queller here or whatever, so they're going to have to play into it. Ooh, okay, nothing. Cool. Well, let's attack for some damage. And go ahead. We've got Rattlechains as a backup here to protect a creature. We've got Spectral Sailor to draw a card if they do nothing. Ooh, we draw Spell Queller? That is such a good draw. Okay, looks like they got a thing. Nourishing Shoal. X is 15. And Gurio's Vengeance targeting Grishoalbrand. Interesting. Okay. So they're going to be able to Grishoalbrand block one of our creatures, I think. I don't think we can do anything with this Nourishing Shoal, right? Because its converted mana cost is way too high for Spell Queller to deal with. So I think we just have nothing to do here. Now the Grishoalbrand, I think, leaves play. Can't really do anything here. Alright, we'll just let that happen. Play Hallowed Fountain, and pass. Yeah, they're going to draw some cards. They're going to have a huge hand. So it looks like we're up against the new Grishoalbrand. And they're going to have a hand of so many cards here to work with. For their turn. Another Nourishing Shoal, so they're just going to keep on going here. Okay, they have 7 cards left in their library. So they should be able to win here, right? They have 44 cards in hand. They should be able to find a line. Ah, Thoughtseize, huh? Like, we can quell that, but then we don't have anything to quell whatever they're using to win with. Maybe we let them take the Queller and then we draw a card, try and find second Queller. Or it would actually be third Queller. Okay. Oh, and then they can use Nourishing Shoal to end us. But fortunately, we have Skyclave Apparition here with haste, or sorry, with flash. Because of Rattlechains here. Two. How do you like that? Don't think they like it very much. I have not seen Turak. If you have a link, I would like to see it. I'll put my name up in chat so it's a little bit easier to send me a whisper. Otherwise, I will take a look at spoilers after the stream is over. Look at all those cards they're discarding there. Oh, we draw Drogskol Captain. Let's go. Do love a new Luris card. Alright, pass turn, I guess. They have another opportunity to do something. They've got a bunch of cards in hand, but not much left in the library. Okay, another veto. And they're printing Seal of Removal and Goblin Bombardment? Goblin Bombardment? That's cool. Alright, we're just going to pass here. We have more than enough for lethal. Another Drogskol Captain. Well, it has Flash, so let's just attack, see what happens. Gorios Vengeance. Another friggin' Gorios Vengeance again. Nice. It was enough. I didn't actually count because I figured, like, whatever, we're doing this regardless, so it worked out. I mean, Bombardment is lethal all the time, every time. That card is ridiculous. Thinking probably Rest in Peace, maybe Force of Negation. Damping Sphere could actually be interesting because on their combo turn you would expect them to want to cast multiple spells. In any event, let's take a look at the pile view here. We brought in the Force of Negations and Rest in Peace. Skyclave Apparition is going to be so-so in this matchup. It does get rid of that veto character. I like the Spell Queller. I'm going to want all of those. Selfless Spirit. I guess it's okay. They could potentially have, like, Anger of the Gods or something. Shacklegeist seems actually pretty good as well, being able to, like, tap down their creature. Just get rid of some Spectral Sailors, as I usually do. Torak the Dread Chanter. Kicker, black, protection from white. Whenever an opponent discards a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Torak. And when Torak enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. Okay. I like the comment, sings hymns to himself when kicked. Narcissistic much? Just taking a look at Torak. Kind of cool. Alright, let's get back into the game before we run out of time on our sideboarding here. That is a familiar. Discard a card, add black. Okay. So let's see here. We got mana, we've got Aether Vial, we got Mausoleum Wanderer. We're going to keep this. Oh, and Shacklegeist. Being able to tap down a Grishoalbrand could be pretty good. Probably have a Thoughtseize coming in. Yep. Bye-bye Aether Vial. They could take Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay, they take the Vial, makes sense. Good question, Farzoth, sorry. The quick answer would be that I copied it from Dr. Queller. I believe that the chalices are in there for prowess. And then also being able to have a mediocre usage against other decks. We'll give that theory some testing as we get through this league. But I think it's for prowess. They're printing Zurin Orb into Modern? Really? Oh. Might as well sell my burn cards. Oh, I like the Spell Queller. I think we just play Supreme Phantom. Or we could just play Shacklegeist. I'm going to play the Supreme Phantom here because it's going to make our Mausoleum Wanderer more useful during our opponent's turn. Oh, they get rid of the Anger of the Gods there. So yeah, we know for a fact they have Anger in. And they have a Grishoalbrand as well. We have ways to work around the Chalice on one. Aether Vial being one, and Cavern of Souls being the other. Oh, rest in peace? Yes, please. Let's just go ahead and throw this onto the board. And opponents concedes. Rest in peace, too much. We can keep this. So Modern is about to become EDH Light. Interesting. Alright, so Utopia Sprawl to start. Makes me think of Karnza. We don't really have much choice on our first turn here. We're going to play Mausoleum Wanderer. Our choice was basically what land do you want to play. Okay, here's Blood Moon. This only counters instants or sorceries, right? Yes, okay. So we don't have white mana. So half of our hand here is uncastable. I think I'm going to hold up Rattlechains here and just attack for 1. As foretold with Restore Balance and Zurin Orb. There you go. What does Karn get? Liquid metal coating. Yeah, that makes sense. Be able to destroy our island here. Oh, no, they go for Ensnaring Bridge. I guess opponent doesn't want to... I don't know, like they got the Blood Moon, they're ready to get us. But I guess Ensnaring Bridge could potentially save them if we have a really impressive, aggressive hand. Which, not really. Alright, we'll kill Karn. Look at that. 2-color deck, and we are getting punished by that Blood Moon. I mean, we only have 2 basic islands and 2 basic plains in the deck. Well, we're hanging here on beginning of combat for a little bit. Opponent might have stepped away from the computer for a second. There we go. Send it all at Karn. And we can play a Shacklegeist during the opponent's turn. Now, if we end up getting a Plains, an interesting thing we could do would be to play a Drogskol Captain during combat, which would allow us to attack with creatures that would otherwise be too large because of Ensnaring Bridge. Spell Queller is not going to do us any good. Our entire hand is uncastable at this point. Bloodbraid Elf, sure. Into Seasoned Pyromancer, you got it. Ah, man, that's what I didn't want to see. Now they only have 1 card in hand. Jerks. Now, back up to 2 again. And Arbor Elf back down to 1. And none. So no attacks. No combats. We're very sad here. Oh, they don't... Okay, they can't attack because of Ensnaring Bridge. Right. I guess we just pass the turn. Ensnaring Bridge keeping everybody at home. Running 6 gonna kill our creatures. Or tick up. Yeah, fine. I'm not too sure what our opponent is about. They might just really like having Blood Moon on people. Because I figured there, Ren and 6 start killing my creatures. When my creatures are dead, start holding cards in hand so that you can start attacking. Oh, the stomp at us. They're going to stomp us to death. That's what they're thinking. I think that we're going to find out very quickly just how good Zurin Orb is. I don't think it'll take very long for people to realize the card is busted. Alright, Shacklegeist has Flash, so we'll just wait on it. Still ticking up on Ren and 6, so they're going to, I guess, tick up, and then make the emblem to kill us that way. Yeah, retrace bolt over and over. Another island. I mean, that was close to what we needed. Although, realistically, we got to get rid of that Ensnaring Bridge, which is something we need double planes for. Another Shacklegeist. Go ahead, opponent. Another Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, okay, that's a pretty good one, actually. That lets them draw some cards, so they're able to start attacking now. Or maybe they'll just play their hand out so they can't attack. Who knows? Yeah, that's not going to be attacking anytime soon. I guess they could pillage their ensnaring bridge whenever they're ready. Aether Vial, let's go. Okay. So yeah, they got the emblem now. And they're going to be able to just do a ton of cool stuff over and over. So yeah, bolting for every land. They also have the Wrenn and 6 to bring the land back to their hand. So once they have a land, they'll be able to do 2 things in a turn. Get rid of their ensnaring bridge, get rid of our creature, and kill us. Actually, I did play with the 2 cards in the same deck. I don't think I got a chance to use that interaction, but it was really cool. Alright, I think we're just... I mean, we're dead as soon as they draw a land, but whatever, let's just keep on playing, why not? Still got a ton of time on our clock. But yeah, I was playing the Yorion Orzhov Death and Taxes. Had the Spellbinder, had Ephemerate. Why are you going after... Okay, yeah, sure, that's great. You got it. You can take your time, opponent. And I mean, to be fair, I could just scoop them up pretty easily too, right? Still going for our lands. They just really want to crush us. All right, well, you know what? I got a little something here. It's called 104.3A. Let's go for it. I think Damping Sphere does not work with the Utopia Sprawl. Haha, yeah, no. They got me pretty good, but yes, got them, because I'm not going to let them do whatever they were doing for another 20 minutes. Dirtle. Right, I wanted to look up Utopia Sprawl. Okay, so it is the enchantment making the extra mana, so Damping Sphere will not stop their mana production. So let's see here. We're going to want to keep Selfless Spirit for sure. Shacklegeist is kind of so-so, but it is blue for Force of Negation. Regardless, we're going to have to take out some blue cards because we're going to want to keep Skyclave and Selfless Spirit. So we'll probably just take out a pair of Spectral Sailor. There is a question of if we should bring in Deicide for Blood Moon. I don't really think so. It's like the inverse Konami code. Yeah, it's the suicide code. Get me out. This is not going to work for me. It was pretty close, but this is much better, I think. Our opponent, I think, is mulliganing as well. No, they are not mulliganing. We're going to get rid of one card. I think I'm just going to get rid of Supreme Phantom here. Keep the Spell Queller. Right on time, Mausoleum Wanderer. Right on time. Renin 6. We counter that, I think. Because what if they just have a one-land hand? They need that Wooded Foothills. And I think that might be the case. It is. Oh, that was such a good counter. Let's get Island. Rattlechains. Shacklegeist. I think, what do we play here? I think we just play Supreme Phantom. Get the extra damage in? Or do we wait? It would be pretty bad if we played Supreme Phantom into Anger of the Gods, but I think we need to, like, get a clock going. Yeah, I think that's probably what we want to do. We just wait and do Shacklegeist, or we can hold Phantom in case we can get something. Yeah, alright. We'll just do the two, and we'll probably play Shacklegeist, unless... they do find a land. That's basically free. And what is this? Flame Slash. 4 damage to target creature. I guess we'll just put Shacklegeist in play in response. They just have it all. Alright. Hey, Blind. Glad you're able to make it for the spirits. Well, now it's our turn to be land screwed, I guess. Just woke up, messed up your daily schedule. Blind, no. Ooh, that's rough. I think that probably kills us. And we're still stuck on lands. Oh well. Play Supreme Phantom, go. That's all we can do. We forced a Renin 6. They were on one land with Utopia Sprawl. We forced the Renin 6 and they missed land drop. It felt really good. But then they hit land drop and started crushing. Yeah, I think that we're going to go for the 104 3A double shot. Because if one is good, two must be better. This hand doesn't feel very good to me. I mean, we have turn 1 Aether Vial, but our mana is just really, really bad. And then we don't have anything till turn 4? I'm a little bit happier with this. But we have to get rid of one thing. I want to get rid of one of the 3 drops, probably the Drogskol, so that we have some kind of interaction. Humans! Spirits versus humans! Bad matchup for spirits, you say? Well, I definitely don't like the situation we're facing down at the moment. We do have Apparition to get rid of the Champion of the Parish. Thalia is a problem mostly in the sense that it has First Strike. Oh yeah, absolutely. Skyclave being able to remove one of their creatures, especially this Champion of the Parish, is going to be really important. Smack, take 5. Ouch. Rattlechains. Well, I think we're going to want to just go ahead and apparate the Champion of the Parish before it gets too big. That's true, we don't have Coco, so yeah, Thalia is particularly bad here. The only thing that we really have is going to be Aether Vial in the main deck. Alright, so they have 2 cards left in hand, but they got Horizon Canopy and Silent Clearing to redraw. Okay, so they're going to be using one of them. That's true, no paths at all. Generally, you're going to want something to interact with your creatures in that way. But Dr. Queller decided to go in a different direction, and I follow Dr. Queller when it comes to spirits. Yes, Deicide is for Heliod combo, exactly. Alright, let's make our combat a little bit better. We have some okay blocks now, and I think we have to stay defensive. Our life total is so low that I am scared to attack. I want to be able to hold blocks up. Yeah, yeah. Mana base punishes greedy mana bases. Those 2-color mana bases, so greedy. And I mean, you can see how greedy it is. I've only got 2 of each basic. Maximum greed. So they're actually up to 4 cards in hand now. They were at 2 cards in hand last turn. And all they did was just draw cards. Hannibal, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I think that you were probably right on that one. Flash in the Rattlechains, flash in the Supreme Phantom. We could have got something. And now we're just going to basically sit back. I guess we could still get the Thalia, but it's going to cost us the Selfless Spirit. Which, I mean, I'm fine with. I think we're going to be racing. Doesn't look like there's anything here in the sideboard I want to bring in. So it looks like we're going to be sticking with the main. Which is kind of painful because humans is starting to come back. So it should be something on our radar. Ooh. I see what you're saying there. They could have suicided the Thalia for Coco. Good point. So maybe I fell right into their trap. Well, we'll see. We got Spell Queller for Collected Company, so that'll work out pretty well for us. Humans doesn't normally play that card? Okay. I mean, that makes more sense. I didn't think so, but they have the Noble Hierarch there, so, I mean, they could. I know that Bant Spirits plays Collected Company. Mantis Rider, let's quell it. Alright, so now we should be ready to turn the corner, I think. Should be able to start attacking with some of our creatures. Gonna hope for a creature draw off the top as well. Drogskol Captain would be ideal. I mean, humans used to be fairly established, but as we've seen with quite a few decks recently, there's a lot of room to shake things up. Now, you see what happens when you ask nicely? The deck will provide. Alright, so let's see here. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 more is 14, so that's not lethal. We might as well just attack with some of our big creatures here and then go for a lethal attack next turn. So let's see here. That's 8, puts them to 9, and then that would be lethal next turn. I mean, one thing that would indicate to somebody that Coco is in the deck is Hierarch and 4 mana, and someone might say, like, oh, look at that. Especially if you played the standard deck that was running Reflector Mage and Collected Company, it would be very easy to link those two things and think Collected Company is incoming. Reflector Mage. Getting rid of Drogskol Captain. We still got blocks. We've still got... Do we have lethal anymore, though? We don't have lethal anymore. I am, I guess you would say, a variety streamer. I like to play a lot of different decks. So we can just take the damage here, I think. I don't think we need to trade one of our 2 creatures here by double blocking. We'll just take 3, go to 3. And then we'll take 1 more, go to 2. I'm just thinking, do I want white mana or blue mana? I want the blue mana, so we'll draw a card with this one. Shacklegeist, okay. And Seachrome Coast. Okay, so if we want to play Drogskol Captain during the opponent's turn, we cannot play the Shacklegeist. I kind of like just waiting on this turn and then going in next turn with Drogskol Captain. And then the question is, do we go to 1? Because like 1 and 2, that's basically no difference, right? So we could play the Aether Vial here and then hold up Drogskol Captain to play during their turn. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to play the Drogskol Captain right now and just kill them in the air, but that's not on the cards. So let's see, if they're at 9 and we get the Drogskol down, they should be dead next turn. So we shouldn't have to attack. We should be able to keep them back. I don't mind attacking with the Rattlechains, though. Just get a little bit of damage in. And we'll still have lots of blockers. Alright, we're playing a little bit slow here, but we still have more time on our clock than the opponent, so I'm not about to feel bad. What do they got? Looks like Mantis. Yep, it's a Mantis. We could actually just play Shacklegeist and tap the Mantis, but like our Spell Queller blocks that Mantis super well. Ooh, what's this? Aether Vial to put in a creature. I think I know what creature they're putting in. The one that gives their creatures all +1/+1. Oh, Phantasmal Image. Oh, well that's a different thing. Okay, well let's Drogskol Captain. White, blue... thing. Okay, now our Spell Queller is saved from the Skyclave Apparition because we have Hexproof. And that should be GG. Close game. Maybe not. They have the Mantis Rider to block now. But we have Shacklegeist to tap it. Oh yeah, bring on that gut shot. They got 1 card in hand. Nice. Close game. That was a good one. Alright, like I was saying, like we were discussing during the game, nothing here is interesting. These cards do not interest me at all in this matchup. So we're going to be running the basic 60. One land with Aether Vial on the draw. It's pretty greedy, but I like this one a lot more than the other one land hands we had before. I'm going to keep this one. We're going to cross our fingers, hope we draw some lands off the top. Skyclave Apparition could be super good here. Alright, any land on top, please. Any land. Not yet. Okay. Deck is going to make us sweat. There's the Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay. We get the land we were looking for. So we get to continue playing here. I'm thinking I'll probably just use this to put a Rattlechains or something into play on the sneak. Assuming they board out Thalia, absolutely they should. Okay, so that's going to be a 2/2, and they have Aether Vial to potentially pump it even more so. I'm not interested in trying to get in front of this. Although we could put Mausoleum Wanderer in front of it, then play Rattlechains, and then we would have a 2/2. I don't think I want to do that. I think I would rather do some racy stuff. Get my creatures out, start attacking in the air. Let's see what they do. Okay, we just take the 2. And they draw a card. Would have expected them to be playing more creatures. Oh, Champion of the Parish. That is a creature. Something we'll have to deal with quite quickly. I got a Plains here. I need double white for Skyclave. And another Aether Vial. Okay. So they don't have much left in hand here. Land off the top, please. Nice. So we can Skyclave Apparate something at instant speed. We also have Aether Vial for Selfless Spirit here. Seems pretty good. I kind of like just passing here and trying to get some of their creatures if we can. If our creatures are going to be indestructible during combat, that could be pretty good. We might be able to take out maybe even 2 of their creatures. We'll see what happens. Okay, so they bring in, what's the name? Reflector Mage here, I think? We'll find out. Yeah, Reflector Mage. And they target the Rattlechains, so we will apparate the Thalia's Lieutenant here. Okay, so that's a 3. Alright, so we could trade a Selfless Spirit for it. Or we could trade one of the creatures we have on the board for it. We could trade Mausoleum Wanderer for it, just by putting a Rattlechains onto the board. Alright, let's put a Selfless Spirit onto the board. Try and get a trade here. Nice. Okay, we got Aether Vial at 3. That's where we want it to stay. I think we'll just attack in with Selfless Spirit and pass the turn. Basically, everything here has flash. I didn't need to qualify that with a basically. Everything in my hand has flash. Okay, so they're attacking in with Reflector Mage. I think we just take the 3 damage. It's not very much, and we can swing much harder in the air. We should also probably just put the Queller down. We're not going to be countering anything. Oh my. What's this? Ah, Kudro. Alright, it's a race. Okay, so this here we can say always know, always yield. And we get Shacklegeist. Nice! So we can start tapping down their creatures. Tap 2 spirits so we can use the Apparition and the Shacklegeist this turn. And we can just attack with everything else. Pauper Gang, what's up with Squirrel Storm? Good question. What is up with Squirrel Storm? Oh, and Blind was asking as well. So there's a lot of questions going on about what's going on with these squirrels. So yeah, we have the Rattlechains. We can play the Shacklegeist later. Let's pass. What? Okay, so this is just going to be immediately banned. There's no way they can allow this in Pauper. That has to be an insta-ban. Chatterstorm? No way. Well, they've already taken out the goblin version of that. I mean, it was 4 mana and you get 2 goblins per storm. Empty the Warrens. But yeah, there's no way they can allow that in Pauper. The storm ability is too good. They've already shown us that they don't want that to be a part of Pauper by taking out Empty the Warrens. So, I mean, like, if they let us play with it for a month or two, we'll get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. But I don't know, maybe they feel confident putting that kind of thing back in with both Electrickery and the Cannonade. But yeah, my initial impression, seeing that card, insta-ban. Oh, of course, I let them attack, right? Right, of course. Yeah, no problem with that. 6 damage, no problem. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, Skyclave Apparition with Aether Vial ready to go? Is that the best possible card we could have drawn? I think so. I think I probably hold Spectral Sailor back so I can still tap a creature. This is still more than enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if they have Reflector Mage, I'm going to want to attack, and that's going to be lethal. Okay. We can draw with Sailor. That's true. We have the cards, or sorry, the mana to draw with Sailor. We only have the 1 Aether Vial. Phantasmal Image, Spell Queller. Okay, Aether Vial. Skyclave. Get rid of Spell Queller. Nice. Should be GG. Cool. Well, we managed to beat the humans. Good enough. Good enough. This might be Heliod? No, we're up against Zoo. Okay. I guess we just play Mausoleum Wanderer, I think. Yeah, let's just play Mausoleum Wanderer here. And I think we'll, Oh, you are Cooper! It's starting to happen more and more. Although, I guess it's kind of to be expected because my target audience for the streams and the YouTubes are the people that I'm playing against. So, yeah, it all kind of feeds into itself. Like a Facebook loop. A little bit of friendly chatter back and forth. It's something that I miss a little bit about paper magic. Oh man, this is going to be rough. Kind of thinking I set up a block via Selfless Spirit, and then we can start going in next turn, like we can do like Spell Queller stuff into Drogskol stuff. If we can just survive a little while, I think that we win the long game. Yeah. This is a lot. This is a lot. Ah, well, we don't take any damage this turn anyway. I wonder what that could mean. You think Chalice is going to be good in this matchup, chat? I would like to put my Mausoleum Wanderer in front of that Nakatl next turn. Potentially try to kill it. On the play, we're going to be feeling pretty strong. On the draw, it's going to be real tough. Oh, I got all this untapped mana to do crazy stuff with. Oh, this is so scary. Alright, so we go to blocks first. Block here. Okay. And then we play the Rattlechains. Which grows the Mausoleum Wanderer again. Okay, looks like we have a trade set up. Okay, good. Oh, and they're at 14. They've been doing quite a bit of damage to themselves with their own lands. Good to know. We gotta keep that in mind. Drogskol Captain could really turn this around. That would be attacking for 5? I would like to hold up Spell Queller, but I think it's really going to depend on what the opponent does here with their turn. Ooh, Hex Drinker killing us in potentially 2 turns. But they're doing quite a bit of damage to themselves, too, by doing this. Okay, and they got 2 mana up. Another land. Okay, so both of our creatures have Flash here. That could go up to a 6/6. We could swing in for 5. I don't know. I think it's pretty risky to go all in on the Drogskol here. because I think they're holding lightning bolts, which doesn't seem too good with the Spell Queller either. I'm going to hold the Spectral Sailor back to block and hold up Spell Queller. So we'll just swing in for 2 here. And they end up just holding that mana up. So yeah, they probably are just waiting to unleash those lightning bolts at our face. So if they hit us for 6, we're probably dead to double lightning bolt. Just checking to see the other cards here besides Chalice. So yeah, on the play, I bring in Chalice. On the draw, I go back to the regular 60. Pride Mage. Destroy an artifact or an enchantment. I don't think I quell this, because I'm pretty sure they have Lightning Bolt. Ooh. I think I actually want to play the Drogskol here. If we draw another Drogskol, this is going to be way better. And then we have the Spell Queller to protect this Drogskol. Protection from everything, 6/6. Sure. Oh, hold on a second. If they have... So that's 6, 7, 8, puts us to 4. I think we play the Spell Queller and block the Pride Mage. No, because we can just counter... We can just counter a spell if they try and kill us. We take the damage. Sure, we go to 1. Nice. Whew, Sodek with a raid. What number could this be? 65. Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for the raid, Sodek. I think I caught a bit of your stream. You were playing some kind of crazy slivers combo when I was watching. What else did you get up to? What else were you playing? How did you do? Emerald, thanks for the follow, friend. So yeah, we're going to be on the play here, so I don't actually want to bring anything for this matchup. If we end up going to a game 3, we will bring in the 4 Chalice. Two 3 into 2/3 deck is bad but fun. Good to hear that at least you enjoyed it. And have a nice stream. Well, thank you very much for coming by. Thank you for the raid, and catch you next time. I think that would have done it if they had sent both bolts at my lord, because I would have been able to spell quell one of them, but then the other one would have gotten through. Keepable. Hey, Mr. Grey Fox, good morning. Good to hear from you again. People have been telling me about Chitterstorm, which, I mean, when I first saw it, I thought insta-ban, but we'll see what happens. Not speaking about Modern, of course, speaking about Pauper. Ah, glad you like it. We got a few Spirits fans, and I would definitely count myself among them now. After playing the deck a few times, this deck is sweet. Having the evasion to go with your interactive creatures is super nice. So my creatures can counter your spells, remove your permanents, and they fly over your head. Oh yeah, I think they're going to ban that for sure. Wonder if your opponent saw Yamakiller salt off after your opponent beat him. That dude is a rager. I don't know. That would be interesting. Are you saying, Mana Traders, that you actually saw that matchup and know that Yamakiller salted? Force of Negation. Yeah, we got 2 Force of Negation in the sideboard. We're going to take the 4. I do like a little bit of salt mining. It is one of my favorite things. Ooh, Shacklegeist. So we can tap down their creatures every turn? I like this. I'm into it. Oh, I get what you're saying, Mana Traders. Alright, so we're going to pass to their turn. Choice words. Yeah. I have a certain style of speaking, what can I say? Okay, begun combat, so let's tap down Nicodle. And I guess we shouldn't 6 here. We still do have Mausoleum Wanderer, so like if they cast something for 4, we could counter it. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have 6. His style is cute. Thanks, Blind. Can't read anything there. Are you saying you can't read the chat here? My opponent and I were having a little discussion. Arrows had beaten Yamakiller recently and wanted to know how their deck would do against spirits now that they know they're up against another streamer. So they were pretty excited to see if they could get 2 in a row. Drogskol Captain. Okay. Drogskol Captain's interesting. We might be able to just switch gears. We could go Supreme Phantom, Spectral Sailor, which would give us another tap, and then next turn go for Drogskol Captain. Alright, let's attack in for 7 and tap down their Nicodle before combat. I mean, that's the plan. They could have Lightning Bolt here, and then I would have to choose between Mausoleum Wanderer and Supreme Phantom, but it looks like they don't have it. Okay, so beginning of combat, we'll tap down Nicodle. Oh, I guess, yeah, we could have played the Spectral Sailor during their turn. That would have been right. I was just thinking, like, we don't have Rattlechains right now, so I was thinking our creatures don't have Flash, but Spectral Sailor does have Flash all the time. So we could have just played Supreme Phantom, attacked in for the damage. We would have missed 1 damage with the Mausoleum Wanderer that way, but I think that would have been fine. Ah, yeah, Voice. Absolutely. Don't want to give them the extra creatures. Good point. Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I make the right decisions, even though I don't consider everything that's happening. Okay, so they want to kill the Supreme Phantom. They have plenty of mana up in order to pay for the Mausoleum Wanderer, so we just let this happen. Okay. So let's see here. We have 4 damage, or we have 8 damage with Drogskol. I think we just play Drogskol, attack, and hold up 1 tap. I did, Mr. Grey Fox. I actually just saw it during the stream. Some people were telling me about it. Okay, so we got a couple of choices here. I kind of like play Drogskol, get in big damage this turn, if we can. And I intend on keeping the Spectral Sailor back here. It doesn't do very much damage. It's not going to be the difference between life and death here. Actually, it would mean they couldn't fetch. I don't think it's worth it. We'll keep them back to potentially block or potentially tap. I want the real him wizards. Yes, please. There are a certain class of people that want to play Hymn to Turak. I am definitely one of them. And I can also completely understand why the vast majority of Magic players would absolutely hate to play with Hymn to Turak. Bloodbraid Elf? Sure. Get a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's a good one. They get to kill the Drogskol Captain. We can counter that. So we get to keep our Drogskol Captain. And then we tap down one of their attackers, and that should be GG. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. So we've got 2 lands, we've got Aether Vial. This hand looks really good. Alright, Seachrome Coast, Aether Vial. Easy turn 1. Peter Storm, thank you for the follow, friend. Oh no! Oh no! I thought we had a good hand, but we're up against Tron. That is going to make things more difficult. Another Skyclave Apparition. Alright, so we'll bring this into play. Yes. We can just Mausoleum Wanderer Rattlechains during their turn, so we're not going to get any real value from doing this during our turn. Yeah, Tron is the nemesis. Oh my god. They just have Nat Tron. Pretty sure they just have Nat Tron. This is where you get up and leave to eat dinner. Alright, well, thanks for joining us. Driven by someone. Thanks for the follow, friend. Well, we at least get our 3rd land so we can spell quell something if they do anything relevant like that. Otherwise, we can throw a Skyclave Apparition onto the board because we have Flash. So we can at least, like, put some things onto the table. But, I am terrified, chat. I am absolutely terrified right now. And there it is, Natural Tron. No need to cast any spells. Let's just put Wormcoil Engine onto the battlefield. Okay, let's go. Wow. Yep, I mean, this is just part of Modern, you know? You just got to accept it. It's going to happen. Am I supposed to put down Spell Queller here? I think so, just so I can start flying overhead. Yeah, it looks pretty tough. Don't think we're going to be getting through this one. Fortunately, we have 4 Damping Spheres in our sideboard, along with the Force of Negations. So we can bring in Force of Negations to counter their Planeswalkers, and Damping Spheres to slow down their manas. But it is pretty certain we're losing this game, I think. Huh, Rattlechains, not bad. Yeah, I think that... Oh, hey, what's up? Baboy yo. Thanks for the follow. What's good? Hydrate, you got it. This is thirsty work after all. So let's see here. I mean, I want to keep the Shacklegeists because they tap Wormcoil engines. No attacks? Okay, yeah. No kidding. I mean, is anybody cool enough to handle Baboy-yo? All is Dust says maybe not. Sacrifice each permanent, which is more than one color. So let's see here. They have 1 mana, and we can counter the spell if we put a spirit into play. Wanderer can be good sometimes. Let's see here. Always no, always yield. Supreme Phantom, good draw. That's for 9. Oh, Donut, he skipped by mistake. It was a misclick. Okay, this only says other, you don't control. Okay. So yeah, we just let them hit us. They go to 9. We have lethal in the air, but they probably have a Karn. Let's see. Oh, Oblivion Stone. Oh, damn. And they have the mana to activate it. No path. I don't know Pornot Seer. I know that it's one of Dr. Queller's lists, though. I do know that. So yeah, that just kills everything. Oh, man. That sucks. From the crypt with the bits. What's up, my friend? Yeah, got pretty close. We almost managed to steal the game, but yeah, we've lost this. Pretty sure. They have 1 card left in hand, so like we could take the Lifelink Worm. No, because this is non-tokens. So we could take the Expedition map. Yeah, we've lost this. Yeah, can't even kill the tokens. Don't even try. You need a Flicker Wisp to kill tokens. Apparitions won't do it. Thragtusk. I think we can go ahead and concede this one. It's far too far gone. Yeah, we're going to bring in Damping Sphere. For sure. And then maybe Force of Negation as well. I think I'd be more interested in Force of Negation on the draw. So let's see here. Apparition seems pretty poor in this matchup. Chalice on the play is good? I'm kind of scared of bringing Chalice in against Tron. I mean, they do have quite a few 1-drops, but it's... I don't know, it just feels so weird to me. So let's see here. I want some number of Spell Queller. I want all the Drogskol Captains. Selfless Spirit, Rattlechains, Shacklegeist. I want those. Spectral Sailors can potentially go. Mulligan for Wet Ball. That's going to be one of the plans. Wet Ball is going to be one of the best cards we could have in the opening hand. Well, Mr. Grey Fox, you might absolutely be correct. My instinct is against it, and I just feel uncomfortable bringing Chalice against a Tron deck, but that might just be my biases, and maybe Chalice would be good. Alright, I think I'm going to bring in Force of Negation on the draw and leave it out on the play. Well, I mean, everybody is agreeing with you, Mr. Grey Fox. So let's take a little bit of time here. We've got a little bit of time exactly. A very different deck. Okay, so we have the Chalice on one. We have the Cavern of Souls to play our spells. I guess I keep. We don't have the Wet Ball, but we have Chalice on one. Yeah, the hand is super slow. And of course they just go ahead and get Tron anyway. Okay, can't be countered, we're good. That was Poor Not Seer. That's what I was thinking originally. But chat convinced me that Chalice was good enough on the play, so we're going to try it out. Worst thing that happens, we lose. I mean, opponent is saying that it is doing some work. Another worm coil. Gross. But we do have Selfless Spirit, so we could potentially block and sack. Because they can't cantrip mana traders. They could potentially have a ton of cards in hand that should be recycled for other cards, but they just can't now. Pretty hard to race a worm coil. Rough. What? I mean, this is a sacrifice, right? So yeah, Selfless Spirit wasn't going to do anything there. And Oblivion Stone! Oh, nice. Yeah, that's GG.